You know what's the single best piece of advice I could ever give anyone? Learn to love yourself. This world would teach you that that is selfish. This world would teach you that you have to be in service of others. But let me ask you, how can you be of service to another when you are pouring from an empty cup, or a half-filled cup, or a depleted cup, or a resentful cup, or an angry cup, or well, you get the picture. Self-love is the greatest gift that I ever learned, and it still continues to pay me dividends. And again, I will tell you, the world would teach you that this is so untrue and makes you selfish, and somehow you're a wretched sinner and you're damned to hell. Let me frame it another way for you and help you see it in another light. If you believe that you've been created from a source and a force far greater than you, no matter what you call it, no matter if you call it source, infinite intelligence, God, it doesn't matter. If you know that something bigger than you created you, because it did, and that one created you in its image. That doesn't mean the body, doesn't mean your gender. It means the image as in the consciousness, the awareness, spirit. And if that one loved you enough to create you in the first place, dare I say, who are you to condemn and not love that creation? Let that sit with you for a minute. And there's no judgment here. The truth with a capital T can tend to give you a bit of a smack sometimes. And sometimes that's what you need, you guys. I know I did. I was a person who used to, I don't know, for whatever reason, I was addicted to learning shit the hard way. Maybe you're that way? Not anymore. Bring it on easy. Let me learn lessons that are full of joy and fun. No more hard, painful lessons. You don't have to struggle. This life isn't meant for you to struggle. The greatest gift I learned was self-love. I'm going to repeat it again. What does that look like, Melanie? What does that look like? Okay, I love myself, Melanie. I love myself. No, I don't mean the self who is like the egoic false sense of self of I love myself because I have a great job. I love myself because I have a cool car. I love myself because this guy or this girl loves me. I love myself because my dog loves me, my cat loves me, the pastor at the church loves me. No, I love myself with a capital S. Because why not? Why not? When you stop condemning yourself, criticizing yourself, telling yourself all the ways that you suck, that you're unlovable, that you're undeserving, that you're a failure, that you're a loser, that you're a piece of crap, I don't know, all the above and probably more, right? Been there, done that too. When you stop, because only you can do it, you have the power of choice in every moment. It is your God-given choice. Nobody can take that from you. So that God who created you in its image, the capital I, gave you that power. It can't be earned. It can't be bought. It can't be taken. It can't be added to. It just is. And within that, within your mind, the power to choose the thoughts that you think, power to perceive, the power to believe, the power of all of those things. By that, you create. And so what I had to learn was that I was creating a shitstorm of a life. I was creating relationships, experiences, events that just kept reflecting back to me what I needed to find within myself. I had relationships that you could label as toxic, unhealthy, dysfunctional, shitty, whatever you want to call them. And it's because at the core, I didn't love myself. I didn't value myself. In fact, you could say I was the worst critic to myself. And maybe you know that feeling. Maybe you know that feeling. If I beat myself up enough, then I'll be worthy. If I say enough Hail Marys and condemn myself to hell enough and call myself a wretched sinner, then some God on a cloud will love me and forgive me. You've already been forgiven. You've never sinned. You've never been bad. You were from God. How is that possible? Yet religions would teach you otherwise. This world would teach you otherwise. And dare I tell you the truth, that this world is the opposite of God's kingdom. This world is fear. And I don't mean the earth. I mean the world mind, the world thought, the consciousness, the belief system. Fear-based. Anything that is fear-based, and anger is fear-based, resentment, worry, doubt, anger, all things negative are fear-based. As long as you allow those thoughts to take up dominion in your mind, which you have the freedom to choose at any moment, to kick them out, tell them beat it, been there, done that, don't want it anymore. As long as you allow all that negativity to hold up space in the sanctity of your mind, which is where all your power lives, you will continue to see and create the very things that you hold near and dear to you. That is the greatest lesson I had to learn, and I continue to learn it. What you hold in the sanctity of your mind is what you will perceive out there. There is nothing outside of you. What you see, what you perceive, what you believe to be true is only in what you're seeing out there, if you will, in relationships, in events, in experiences, your job, money in the bank, lover in the bed or not lover in the bed, friends, no friends. It's all the perceptions, the attitudes, the beliefs of what you have held as true within you. Not so because some God doesn't love you, because that's how powerful you are. That's how powerful you are. So until you are willing to claim that as your responsibility, I'm the one that created this mess. I don't know how I did it, but I know that I don't want to create it anymore. Until the soul can become so humble to actually, sometimes that's a bit of a hard pill to swallow, if you will. That's what I had to do. Took me 2 divorces to finally get that lesson. But until you do, there can be no change. Why? Because you're not willing to accept responsibility. And in that, you victimize yourself by believing that you're a victim, and therefore you don't empower yourself. You literally disempower yourself, and you've never been disempowered. Now, because you are so powerful, you can continue to create events, experiences, situations, relationships, if you will, that will prove to you that you are indeed a victim, that you are indeed not powerful. But it's not because it's true. It's because you are that powerful, that you're the one that keeps creating it. So how do you change it? By changing the thoughts that you hold in your mind, by learning to love yourself, by only being willing to speak loving thoughts to yourself, by seeing everything that you have ever experienced as a lesson, a learning, a gift that brought you closer and closer and closer and closer to this truth. that had you not had those experiences, you wouldn't have gotten the kick in the ass that maybe you needed. I know I needed them. Not anymore, though. Remember, we talked about that. This is how you fucking change your life for the greater good. Nobody can do it to you. There is not a God or Jesus on a cloud that's going to come down and save you. That was never Jesus's teachings. He was here to teach you that you are like him. Powerful. Son of God as an offspring, not as in the only one. We're all sons of God as an offspring. As a wave is to the ocean. As a sunbeam is to the sun. It's never been true that you're just this mere mortal, pathetic, small thing. You are more powerful than you've ever given yourself credit for. And the path to really seeing that power in a way that feels way better, more like heaven than like hell, God knows I've created enough hells for myself too, is to start to learn to love yourself, to no longer tolerate talking shit to yourself, being critical of yourself. No constructive criticism bullshit. I love me. Notice the self-talk and flip it. Oh my God, you're such a loser. I am loved, I am loving, and I am lovable. Oh my God, you are never going to get a good guy or a good woman with that body. I am perfect, exactly the way that I am. Nobody's going to love you because you are too old, too broke, too whatever fill in the blank that you've been telling yourself. I am loved, loving, and lovable. Now, I am whole and perfect, exactly as I am. Nobody can give that to me and nobody can take that away because the one who created me in the first place already gave it to me. This is the truth about you. Self-love is the path to the peace that you've been seeking. You've been looking for love in all the wrong places, and all along it's been that one staring back at you in the mirror. And not this body so much, but look at your eyes in your soul. That's the one I'm talking to. So what are you going to do? Learn to love yourself or continue to condemn yourself and hope that one day, I don't know, you get there. But has that worked out for you so far? Thinking not. Because I know it wasn't working out for me so well so far. What I teach is what I learned. What I teach in these videos is what I teach my clients. It works. Not because I'm so magnificent and magical, any of that bullshit, but because my teachers taught me and I tried it on for myself and it works. But only you can do it for yourself. You can watch this video as many times as you want, but until you're willing to put what I've shared to work, if you will, doesn't sound very much fun though, to play, until you're willing to test it out. Let me experiment. Let me hear. Molly's gonna say something, something within me resonates. Yeah, you know what resonates? My soul's talking to your soul. You already know all of this, by the way. You already know. Your soul knows the truth when it hears it. Stop doubting yourself. Stop questioning yourself. Start loving yourself. What you have to lose? Oh my gosh, I don't know. Maybe the hell that maybe you've created. Maybe you want to create some heaven? Would be way more fun, don't you think? I know that's what I'm creating. Curious to know your thoughts. Curious to know if you are willing to try this out. Willing to start talking only lovingly to yourself. Nobody has to hear you, by the way, okay? Inside of your own mind. And if they do, who cares? I love you guys. Till next time.